Hello and welcome to the Atma podcast. I'm here with Dan. Unfortunately, no Jordan this week. He's still on holiday in Egypt. As far as I know, he's having a great time. I saw a video of him and Dan doing some dune bugging the other day. So
nice.
They look like they're having a good time. I don't know if they've been to the pyramids or not. I know Jordan did say or mention about wanting to go to the pyramids, but I think that's like 5 hours away from where they are. So I don't know if they've gone or not.
I feel like if you get to Egypt, I feel like you have to go to the pyramids.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those. It is like one of the 7 wonders of the world. I'm pretty sure. So you kind of really got to try and push yourself to go. But if it is a 5-hour trip there and a 5-hour trip back,
it's it's almost 2 days.
It's
holiday.
A massive commitment. So I don't know but I'm sure he'll tell us when he's next week. What he'd done.
Especially Jordan as well. He's done the videos and stuff on the pyramids, hasn't he? So it makes sense.
It would be good for his content if he did, and obviously good just to explore and see stuff for yourself. But I'm sure we'll hear from him. What have you been up to, Dan?
Just running around this week, to be honest, mate. Sorting stuff out from the factory. I've done a few deliveries, different places, driving here, driving there, taking machinery and stuff. So just sorting stuff out so that everything's down in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And the factory up here is, just all sorted out. So just been doing that, to be honest, mate.
Yeah. How far is what is it hour-wise, drive from where you are to Bournemouth? Must be at least a few hours.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours. Depends if there's traffic, it'll be 2 and a bit hours.
Yeah.
So everything's down in Bournemouth. We've delivered a few bits of machinery to other people that they've bought some stuff. And then, just where we're downsizing some stock to auctions and stuff. Just constantly running about, hiring vans.
Yeah.
Literally, I'd have been a billionaire if I'd gone into removals.
Oh, yeah. It's just hiring a van. I don't know what it's like now, but I remember when I hired a van just to move, and it was a Luton van for when we moved to the house that I'm in now. That was, I think we had to pay something stupid, almost £300-400 deposit. Obviously that goes into an escrow where they don't touch it unless there is damage to the van. But it is a bit of a nightmare. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So the other day I hired 2 vans in the same day. So it was funny because we pulled up to one van hire place in a hired van, and they just must have thought, these guys they're just trying to get loads of hired vans. So it was quite funny. So we had a drop side for a piece of machinery, and we also had a Luton tail lift as well. So I did 2 commutes to Bedford in a van, and then we did another drop side there. I was all day. I didn't get finished till sort of 9-10 o'clock.
Jesus.
It was just all day driving, packing. It's like moving house on steroids.
Yeah.
When you do a factory move.
And that's moving house enough is that's enough for me. I'm gonna be honest. I did when I moved in here officially. I was like, I know I'm probably gonna have to do this again at some point. I really don't want to. Don't want to.
I've moved house a lot. Not recently, but when we first moved to this area we're renting, and the prices were going up loads.
Yeah. Just
in this area, and all the people that were renting it out, obviously they were going up that much that they just kept deciding to sell. So we ended up moving. In 5 years, we moved 6 or 7 times.
Jesus.
Probably more. I remember one year we moved 3 times in 1 year. That was one to get our kid into the school we wanted. So that was our choice, but the other 2 wasn't our choice.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy period. Yeah. And obviously you saw how big the factory was before. We moved all that to another factory.
Yeah.
And now we've just all that again. We've just moved all that again.
It's not really even. I mean, the physical actual work of taking one thing to another place, but it's trying to get all the other things matched up, like logistics rather.
Logistics,
stuff.
Mate.
It just looks, and everything you've said just sounds like a nightmare to me.
Well, obviously, moving the house normally is boxes, and you got a few bits of big furniture. But obviously, with machinery, you need forklifts. So you need a forklift this end, and you need a forklift the other end.
Yeah.
You need to make sure, and with our machinery, it needs a certain type of forklift. It needs long forks. So you just got to make sure that all that tallies up. and any like breakdown in that, like we did one to Wales and got there and it didn't have the long forks, and it's like, well, we can't turn around, we can't go back, so we have to get this, we have to figure it out, which we did.
Yeah. Yeah, now you're just moving all the operation down to Bournemouth.
Yeah, so yeah, all the operation in Bournemouth's pretty set up now, to be fair. It's a good setup down there.
Cool. Well, before we go any further, I will just do a quick plug. If you are interested, I know there's a lot of people in the chat. I see some people already that are in the chat who are members of the channel. But if you do want extra content, I do an extra episode every 2 weeks, and also some other videos I put on there. For example, I'm playing Prey at the moment, a playthrough of Prey, the video game. So you can see me absolutely fail at that and laugh at me, because the first 2 episodes I've recorded already, I die constantly. But if you're interested in watching that, $4.99, any more people to sign up, that'd be great. Like I said, there are people in the chat. I can see Big P. He is a member. Shout out to Big P. He's been a fan and a member for a long, long time.
Legend.
All support is appreciated. But yeah, thought I'd just leave that there and the plug. But I thought I'd put it in before we start the stories. Nice. Now, first thing I want to talk about, I've got a question for you, Dan.
Yeah,
have you thought, and I mean, I haven't given much thought to this, have you thought at all about what you want your coffin to look like when you go?
Ironically, with this, I have.
Have you?
And I as I get a bit older and I'm starting to get a little bit more organised in life, I think I might have it all paid for and set up quite early.
Yeah.
So it's all just, I've got 2 trains of thought on it at the moment. So one is, I would like, have you seen the coffin trees?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is one that's on my list. I quite like that. I don't know where I'd have it. Probably, I don't know if you'd be allowed to have that at a graveyard, because I don't want a big fuck off tree growing in the middle. So I might need a space for that. So, because I like the idea of like, obviously everything, you're all like matter of the earth,
and like you're growing like, into the
you break down, but then I think if that is the case and I'm in the tree, like, it might get a bit boring. So another train of thought is like is it cryogenically frozen?
Yes. Yeah.
So if that's kind of an option, I quite like the idea of that.
I'd love to do that.
There's a few pros and cons, because one is just the horrible thought of what if you kind of like there's some sort of like consciousness thing, or you're trapped in there. So like that's I've read an article about that they do it, I think, in America, but you can pay for like the full body go, or you can get like a discount one where they just chop your head off and stick that, because it's all to do storage and space, isn't it? So you can get, but obviously you're probably gonna have to wait a longer time for them to sort all that mess out. So but yeah, that's the cheap option. Just get your head, if my head's intact. Hopefully it is.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I think cryogenically being frozen would be cool, but there's obviously the thought that you're gonna have to wait, like you said, a long time for us to potentially get to the point where we can get people revived, or even if they are able to live after being frozen. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait a long time for that, but it'll be cool if we were able to do that. Just to say, like we've died in like 2060 something, whatever, and then we are then brought back into a world that's like completely different. We're probably not even on the same planet. Obviously, it's like I'd love to experience that, but at the same time, I feel so lost. But it's about,
and also it's a bit like Demolition Man, isn't it? It could almost be like instantaneous.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the kind of, possibly with the way AI is going and learning and how it's almost at human level now, that could just do a like crazy trajectory. And if it's all for the good, it could figure some of that stuff out.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see on that. But the reason why I ask it is because I don't know if the thought has ever crossed your mind, but have you ever thought of wanting to be in a coffin that looks like a Greggs sausage roll?
No, I'm not. No.
There is a company. I think they're called Choose Your Way to Go. Oh no, Go As You Please, right? And they
Nice,
specialise in customisable coffins. Now, I'm going to put this on screen. This is an example of 3 coffins that they have advertised. You can see a Dyson one there, the Greggs one in the middle, and then obviously the police phone box from Doctor Who. It's quite striking designs. I don't know why you'd want to have a Greggs sausage roll one there, but
even the Dyson. I mean,
yeah, but you've got to be really into Hoovers, like, and especially Dyson.
If your life's work is like ends in a Dyson, and that's your, I mean, Dyson. I can imagine wanting to go in it, but if you choose that as your to sum up your life, that's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think for context, the person who they designed this for was a repairman for Hoovers. He spent a lot of time in his life doing repairs on Hoovers.
Hopefully, like Dyson, because spinning in his grave.
That's it. Well, I'll read out this story. A funeral firm is hoping to break the taboo of talking about death by offering custom-made coffins which include a casket designed like a Greggs sausage roll. Bosses at Go As You Please say no ideas are off limits to help make a difficult day a little lighter. Suggested designs include the Doctor Who TARDIS, a pint of Tennant's Lager, and a bottle of Bell's whiskey. There are also Star Wars, Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, Harry Potter, and Only Fools and Horses designs to help spark ideas. The firm, which has branches in the northeast of England and in Edinburgh in Scotland, said the coffins are built to the needs of each individual customer. Another 3 examples here. You've got the Tennant's Lager, Harry Potter, and Game of Thrones. Scott Purvis, general manager of the company, told Sky News a Dyson box was created for someone who had a history of repairing old Hoovers. So it wasn't even necessarily Dysons. I'm sure he would have tampered with some Dysons over the years, but yeah. Another coffin was made from old pallets in tribute to a man who used to scrap pieces of wood to create useful things for his shed. Mr. Purvis said most of our coffin designs come from having honest conversations with the person when they are still alive. A lot of people are now arranging their own funerals before they die. This gives them a chance to break the taboo of talking about death with their families. It also gives them the opportunity to have exactly the funeral they want and to take the burden off the family when the time comes. Mr. Purvis said the displays in branch windows are a conversation starter. He said, it isn't out of disrespect, but to show the public what can be done and what we can offer. When it comes to the bespoke pictures, coffins, I would say we're not dealing with novelty, we're dealing with individuality. We encourage families to design their own coffins and even get involved with the making of the coffins. We have had numerous families create photo montages of family photos through the years, bringing the family together to stick the photos on the blank coffin. So yeah, if you know you fancy it, you can pretty much design your own coffin.
Crazy. I wonder if there's any copyright issues. I mean, it's been buried 6 foot under, so I doubt it.
I mean, you've got to be. I mean, I know there are some bastard companies out there, but you've got to be really hardline to be like, say, like Disney said, like, no, you can't have a frozen coffin. Yeah. You're not allowed it. It's like,
imagine like Game of Thrones. They're like, no, not having it. Yeah. Dig it up.
Yeah, get him out. Put him in just a bland one. I'm not having this. Yeah. It's
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, the one that stands out is the Greggs sausage roll. I mean, that is, to me, I wouldn't even enter my mind.
No. I mean, it'd be funny on the day. Like I say, it would make light of it. You know, imagine like 6 guys bringing that out. And you're still carrying this massive sausage roll. I mean, it would be funny. It could be, like, again, when you die, I wouldn't want my funeral to be like all sad, really. It is going to be a bit, I guess, but if you can make light of it.
Yeah.
On this subject, I did see, you've probably seen it on Instagram, there was an Irish funeral, and then as they put him down, he'd had a pre-recorded like speaker and microphone thing set up there, and then he was like tapping like, let me out, what are you doing to me? And then but no one knew. I think it was only maybe his partner who knew or something, so everyone was just like started cracking up and laughing. I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah. That is quite funny, actually. I mean, if you have a Greggs one, imagine like, I don't know why this would happen, but imagine years in the future, it's survived, and people are digging up, and they're like, "What the fuck is this? Why is there a Greggs coffin in this fucking field?"
What's mad is if like this goes through a little period of being trendy, and then they say they do it all, and then just whatever, I don't know, stuff happens, it changes, the world ends, whatever, and then just years to come, like say they just like get this period of time where they're like, what the fuck? Like imagine trying to work out the irony if you didn't have any context.
Yeah, this is what society did. Is this
normal? They're like they must have worshipped Greg, this sausage roll called Greg. They must have, like the Egyptians. So like the Egyptians basically did it for a laugh. It's just banter.
I mean, Greggs has been liquidated for like 58 years. What is this about? Oh dear. But yeah, I thought it was equal. It's like kind of a funny story, but also, you've got to thinking about when your time comes. You do want to take as much burden as you possibly can off your family.
Yeah.
So it's a light-hearted way, I think, overall. But it probably wouldn't be my personal preference to have any of those that I've seen on there. But
yeah, the top three. I mean, I think they're ones to get you talking, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite clever, to be honest, because it does start a conversation. So
yeah, I can see the like you say the Disney stuff with kids, and maybe someone loves Star Wars or Game of Thrones, and I get that makes sense.
Mm.
But Greg Sausage Roll is just you banter in it. Oh, I mean, it's got Always Fresh on there. I mean, that's
that's not going to be the case inside there. I think it says Always Fresh, Always Tasty. I think the next bit says so. Yeah, both of those things would not be applicable after a while.
I like the light on the. I wonder if that's a working light.
Yeah, that would be cool if it was. To be fair.
Yeah. Just at the top of that link to the top, so it just spins off at night.
I just being lowered. Love it. Anyway, I thought it was a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek sort of story.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, this next one is, I don't know, you may have heard about this, but the next one I'm going to show is about a plane crash in Colombia.
Okay.
So these children were on this plane, and they survived in a rainforest for like over 40 days.
Yeah.
With obviously very, very limited supplies. It's crazy. And they're only children who survived. The only people who survived were children. I think there's like 4 children. Let me just pop this on screen. It is insane. So, the mother of 4 children rescued after 40 days in the Amazon jungle was alive for 4 days after their plane crashed. Now, I will just preference this. It's dealing with Colombian names, so get ready for some awful pronunciation. Magdalena Mukati told her children to leave and find help as she lay dying. Speaking to reporters, the children's father, Manuel Renoque, said his eldest daughter told him their mother urged them to get out and save themselves. The siblings, aged 13, 9, 5 and 1, were rescued and airlifted out of the jungle on Friday. They were moved to a military hospital in the nation's capital of Bogota. The one thing that 13-year-old Leslie has cleared up for me is that, in fact, her mother was alive for 4 days, Mr. Ranoke. Oh, that's what I'm going to continue calling him. Told reporters outside the hospital. Before she died, their mum told them something like, "You guys get out of here. You guys are going to see the kind of man your dad is, and he's going to show you the same kind of great love that I have shown you," he said. Details have been emerging about the children's time in the jungle and their miraculous rescue, including the first things that the children said when they were found. Rescue worker Nicholas Ordonez Gomez recalled the moment they discovered the children. The eldest daughter, Leslie, with the little one in her arms, ran towards me, Leslie said. "I'm hungry," he told public broadcast channel RTVC. One of the 2 boys was laying down. He got up and said to me, "My mum is dead." He said rescuers responded with positive words, saying that we were friends that we were sent by the family. Mr. Ordonez said the boy replied, "I want some bread and sausage." So these kids had not eaten pretty much any proper food the entire time they were there. It's just crazy. The children are members of the Hoitoto indigenous group, and their grandfather told Colombian media that their knowledge of edible fruit and seeds had been key to their survival. The eldest child, 13-year-old Leslie, had been credited with keeping her siblings alive. Henry Guerrero, and exactly like a 13-year-old, and this is placed on their shoulders. Like, keep your younger siblings alive.
Yeah, in the jungle as well, man. Jesus Christ.
Henry Guerrero, an indigenous man who was part of the team which finally located the children, said they managed to build a small shelter. They had made a small tent from tarpaulin and placed a towel on the ground. They always stayed near the river, and she, Leslie, carried a small soda bottle which she used to fill with and carry water. In footage released on Sunday of the children's rescue, the 4 siblings appeared to be emaciated from weeks they spent fending for themselves in the wilderness. Mr. Guerrero said the only thing that they had in mind was to eat when they were found. They wanted to eat rice pudding, they wanted to eat bread, he said. Ms. Mukati and her children had been travelling on the Cessna 206 aircraft from, I believe you pronounce this, Araraquara, that's my best guess, in the Amazonas province to San Jose del Guevara on 1st of May. Their plan was to join their father, who had fled their home after receiving threats from a rebel group. The plane crashed nose first in dense jungle in the south of Colombia after experiencing engine failure. It took search teams 2 weeks to locate the wreckage. The bodies of the adults on board, the children's mother and 2 pilots, were found at the crash site by the army, but it appeared that the children had wandered into the rainforest to find help. The missing children became the focus of the huge rescue operation involving more than 100 soldiers, local indigenous people and sniffer dogs. The search teams repeatedly spotted signs in the jungle, including footprints and fruit that had been bitten into, which led them to believe the children had survived the crash. Helicopters flew over the area broadcasting a recorded message from their grandmother in the Hoitoto language, urging them to stay put to make it easier to locate them. The children told their rescuers that they had heard the helicopters and the message. They were finally located on Friday in a small clearing by a team of rescuers who had heard one of the siblings crying. When we found them, it was really a great happiness, Mr. Guerrero said, describing the moment. Their grandfather, Fidencio Valencia, said they were very weakened, they have small wounds and bruises, they have illness that they contracted in the jungle, but overall, they're well, they're in good hands. He added that a bag of cassava flour the children had found in the plane had sustained them for the first weeks. They are being treated in hospital for malnutrition and dehydration and have been visited by the family and members of the search operation. The Colombian military tweeted drawings the children had painted, one of which shows a sniffer dog known as Wilson. This bit is horrible. Wilson, who lost contact with his handlers, is thought to have tracked down the children and spent some time with them in the jungle, but is now unaccounted for. The Colombian military said it would continue searching for the dog, assuring Colombians in a tweet, "We leave no one behind."
Oh,
yeah, so this is a drawing of one of the, obviously, children has made of the jungle with the dog.
So Wilson was the dog who found them as well?
Yeah, so this, from what they've said here, the sniffer dog has lost contact with the people who are running the search. And they've literally the dog's obviously run off, caught some sort of scent, I'd imagine, and then found these children. And the children said that the dog spent some time with them, but by the time the rescuers actually got to the children, the dog had not been there. So yeah, it's crazy.
God, man, I mean, that dog might do from that last little boost to like hold on and stuff. The fact they had a 1-year-old with them is fucking mental.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think, what was it say at the top in terms of the ages of the children?
Oh, he's young, man.
I think, what was it?
13.
9, 5, and 1. So 13, 9, 5, and 1.
Mental.
Or the rest of them all under 10. You've got 13-year-old who's probably chiefly responsible for the fact that they're still alive. It's crazy.
Fair play.
Yeah.
She needs some sort of medal.
Yeah. That's insane. 40 days. 40 days.
In the jungle as well. It's like, that is just absolutely crazy.
I mean, I don't even know. We would probably be absolutely terrible given supplies to survive in the jungle.
Yeah, we'd probably be dead in a few days.
Yeah.
We'd probably wouldn't know what to eat. We'd eat something poisonous.
Yeah.
Maybe a week or something. Yeah, you'd be. So the fact they did 40 days, I think it helped that they were indigenous as well.
Oh yeah. Having the knowledge,
what kind of fruits and that to eat. But yeah, just obviously, just everything's out to get you as well in the jungle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Out to, just the heat, the dehydration, the malnutrition, the diseases, illnesses, like just water. I mean, I don't even drink water. I find a water source.
Yeah, I think they stayed near a some sort of river or water source, but even then, you're kind of taking a complete gamble whether the water's fine or not.
Yeah, safe to drink. Yeah. I mean, again, like luckily that they were from an indigenous tribe, because their stomachs and stuff would have adapted. You know, like if we were to drink that water, we'd probably get sick very quick.
It's astounding that they survived a week, let alone 40 days.
What a good story, though. What a quality.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the whole of like Colombia as well got together and were like wanting the rescue to be accessed. Everyone seemed to be behind it and stuff. So
yeah, it's like it just galvanizes everyone, doesn't it? It's like you want to fight, you want them found, you want to save them. And the whole country kind of just, because it's like fixated. I imagine this is on Colombian news, like for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's still not been found. It
must be so hard to find the bits of fruit or whatever that have been eaten. But obviously you got a perimeter, and it's like, how far do they travel?
Yeah,
it's so dense, isn't it? The jungle. It's like, but you don't know which way to go. Obviously they've got trackers and different people there. But yeah, what a rescue operation.
I'm just going to see if I can find the actual. I don't know if they took any images of the actual crashed plane, because obviously from the sounds of it, it's a small propeller based aircraft.
Yeah. I wonder how far they'd actually travelled from the plane in the end over the. I imagine again, because they found the plane, then it took them a couple of weeks after that to find the kids. So
yeah, I don't know if it's this one. I think it might be. I'll put this on the screen. But yeah, it's crazy story, and like you say, obviously brilliant that they were found in the end. But it's obviously a bit sad about the dog, and obviously there were people who died. But it's such a better scenario that the children were found, and
small plane, isn't it? They must have been at the back.
I'd imagine so, yeah. Because you don't really understand how anyone can survive that, let alone small children.
Yeah, the only thing there is they were just at the back.
Yeah,
the only reasonable to subscription. Yeah,
crazy. But yeah,
that. I mean, yeah, that just looks like it literally just proper nosedived.
Yeah, just plunged into the jungle. Yeah. Crazy.
Because the front of it's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, the front of it just doesn't exist. It's almost like the plane starts at the wings.
Yeah.
It's just completely gone.
That's mad.
But yeah, like you say, they must have been at the back. This is the only explainable possibility of them actually not dying from that crash.
So, I mean, just the fact that the eldest, the 13-year-old, survived, because without her, obviously the others wouldn't have, I doubt would have been able to survive.
Mm.
Especially the two youngest.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like how they survived it. Obviously, the 13-year-old, that weight then placed on your shoulders, not only to save yourself and leave your mum behind, who at the time was probably still alive. Just then trying to look after your siblings is in a place that is literally not designed to kill you, but everything there is not
wants
welcoming.
to kill you.
Yeah. But yeah, craziness. Well, we'll go from that slightly uplifting story to some potentially more uplifting stories, in the case that these people have all basically either cheated death or disaster. So this first one I'm about to put on, I think I've seen this before, but it's just like beggars belief for me personally how this has happened. So this is a picture for the audio listeners. I'll describe it to you. This is a picture of some coins that have stopped a round of ammunition. It was basically a German soldier has shot this guy's great-grandfather, and these coins have saved him, have not caused the bullet to not pass through his body or enter his body.
That's amazing.
So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins, and there are 2 of the coins out of that 6 that aren't even blemished. Like, they're not even touched by the bullet, it looks like.
Yeah.
So the first 4 have absorbed all the power and momentum of the bullet there. But yeah, it's crazy. Just those 6 coins have completely saved that person's life.
Yeah, that is. It's almost like it's welded those 4 together, isn't it?
Yeah. Craziness. There's quite a few stories like that. In obviously the amount of people that were involved in the Second World War and the amount of things that would have been like canteens have saved people on the hips. Bullets gone through that instead of the flesh on their hips. It's crazy.
There's an image somewhere of 2 bullets colliding.
Oh well. Yeah.
I remember seeing that somewhere, which is that's mental.
Yeah. The odds on that. Jesus.
Yeah, like billions to 1.
Yeah. This next one, I don't fully understand how this has happened. Acts of faith. I'll describe it. It's basically an axe for a windshield.
Jesus.
The axe is basically all the way through the windshield. Only the bottom third, or maybe quarter of the handle, is outside of the windshield. The rest of it, the head of the axe, is in the car. There is someone in the passenger seat, which I'm assuming they would have been originally. But it says down the bottom here, it says somebody didn't secure their axe properly. I don't even know, unless it was from directly the truck behind. They've just left it on the back or something. I don't know.
Just maybe bounced off down the motorway. And it looks like the window's still intact, apart from the bit you can't see. Obviously, it must have just come... stuff hits stuff with speed.
It just goes straight through, just a perfect hole, almost like a perfect hole. I mean, you can see a bit of the damage in the reflection or the shadow of the below the axe. You can see a bit of the damage on the windscreen. But yeah, it's crazy. Like these sort of things, it just remind me of Final Destination.
100%, mate. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah.
And this next one, my God, this is literally a scene from Final Destination.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So what I think's happened here is he's had something on the trailer behind and he's braked and it's come through the back rather than come through the front, I'd imagine.
Yes. You're right.
For the audio listeners, it's a car with a sheet of what can only be described as the biggest sheet of metal I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's just gone through the back windscreen and through the front windscreen, and it's literally millimeters away from the driver's position. So
he's all kinds of lucky in it to come out of that. I imagine unscathed because of that's literally just head straight off.
Yeah, decapitation, 100%. See you later. Good night. If that had even grazed the man, that would have been disastrous.
That is just phenomenally lucky.
Yeah,
you can't even believe. That guy should have done the lottery that night.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm just imagining myself sat in that car. That would be literally like here, right just above my shoulder.
Yeah, he's probably heard it. I think maybe the only thing that could have helped is the headrest that maybe
yeah,
maybe hit that and pivoted it off.
might have done.
But still, yeah, it looks like it's gone through the other headrest. So unless he's blown the window down, I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, if you anyone in the passenger seat, that's it. You are gone. You are gone. Just the sheer amount of force that would have had.
As well, you can see, like I said before, you can tell that's come through really fast because it hasn't even cracked the other bits of the window.
Yeah, it's like literally slid through. Craziness. Yeah, Liam says, lucky that the guy's not in the UK because the driver's side would have been the other side.
True. That is very true.
Christ. But yeah, that is
good time to be an American.
Yeah, if that happens to you, you're like, do I drive again? Do I carry stuff on a trailer again?
I would never carry anything ever again.
I've cheated death by the literal skin of my teeth. Makes me a bit queasy. But yeah, that is literally a scene out of Final Destination. This next one is obviously not deadly. Well, it could be deadly if it actually happened to you, but it's a tree that almost looks like it shouldn't exist. It's kind of bent round the back of this this small car, and the tree's like it's fallen down, and there's like a kink in the tree that perfectly goes round the back of the vehicle, and it's fallen down.
Looks like the vehicle's got a force field.
Yeah. I mean,
that's funny.
I've never seen. I've seen trees like fall onto a car but not have like a bend in the actual trunk of the tree to that degree where it actually perfectly just outlines the vehicle.
Yeah, that again, the chances of that happening are just ridiculous. Unless, I don't think he would have, but unless the guy for banter has just reversed and let his car a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, guys, look how close this was.
Yeah.
I just saw you reverse it, Greg.
Shut the fuck up. You reverse lights on, Greg.
Then he stalls it in reverse and it goes backwards into the tree. Crazy. I think this next one I've done before. Not with the size nail of that, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I mean, that's lucky.
Yeah, that again, for audio listeners, I'll describe this to you. It's a nail and it's through the thin layer of skin. You know, like you can sometimes put like a needle through your hand, like the thin layer of skin on your hand, and you can just have it stay there. It's literally that, but someone stepped on a nail, and it's gone through a thin layer of skin and not into the actual flesh. That could be very painful.
Yeah, that's. Oh.
Yeah, I've done this. I haven't done this with a nail that big. I mean, fucking hell, that's a good like 2-3 inches long. I've done it with a pin though, on my foot. It's done exactly that. Luckily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rachel's my missus' brother stepped on the long needles.
Yes.
One of those long needles, but they didn't realise. So he trod on it. It went all the way in, but as it went in, it hit the bone and then it curved around the bone.
Shit.
So she was trying to pull it out. She got some pliers and it was trying to pull it out, but it was causing loads of pain. But they didn't know it wouldn't pull out because it had bent around the bone.
Jesus.
So yeah, had to go to the hospital and get it out. And then when they x-rayed it, they could see the kink in it.
Christ.
So they're like, oh yeah, it's around the bone.
That's one thing to step on something sharp, but for then to go into your flesh and curve round so it clamps on the bone when you try and pull it out, that's
awful.
That's different level, that. This one is a little bit relevant because Jordan is obviously on holiday. There was a shark attack not too far away from where he is staying.
Oh yeah, I remember saying, yeah.
This is someone who looks like they've been bitten by a shark. Obviously, from the size of it, it's probably not a massive shark, but still, that's a pretty lucky escape.
Yeah.
To just
take a chunk out, couldn't it? For sure, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can see the teeth marks where they've like perforated the skin.
Yeah, and kind of just spat it.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that.
Right. I mean, yeah, if that was to bite down hard, you think how much more a shark's jaw has got in like pressure compared to a dog, and
Yeah.
a dog can take a chunk out. Yeah, so that shark's just decided not to for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's almost like the shark is just like, right, this is your warning. This is
Yeah,
a warning
it'll-
bite. Yeah. But yeah, like, if the shark actually had any force behind the bite, I
Yeah.
mean, that chunk of flesh would not be there. It would just you just have a
100%.
missing flesh, a chunk of flesh on your back. But yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy how much force sharks have. Anything that is in the water, it has to be stronger anyway to counteract the actual
the pressure of the water. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so they've just evolved. I think if you Google it, that like times a pit bull, it's like mad.
Let's
It's
quickly have a
something.
look. Let's have a look. I mean, someone says about great whites. Great white sharks are also among the largest fish in the world and can bite with a power of up to 4,000 pounds per square inch.
Mm.
That's crazy.
Which is a ridiculous amount of pressure.
Yeah. Let's see if I put in a small shark. Don't know if it'll say anything. Jesus Christ, bull sharks, which I don't know how big they are, they have a bite force of 6,000 newtons. I don't know the massive difference between newtons and
pounds per square inch. Yeah, not too sure. Yeah, bull sharks can take chunks of, yeah. But they are smaller, aren't they? They're quite a bit smaller bull sharks.
Yeah, you don't
But
want to
again,
get.
You don't want them biting you.
You don't want any shark, any fish really to bite you. I mean,
No.
Nah, not for me. Not for anyone. Let's have a look at the next one we've got on it. This one I haven't done, but I have just not seen my cat, who is black on a black stove. Yeah, this guy's almost turned the gas hobs on his oven, and his cat is entirely black, and his hobs are obviously black, and he's not seen the cat, and almost just set his cat on fire. I mean, with gas hobs as well. Jesus Christ, that would light up like nothing else.
Mate, why? You got cats?
Yes, I got 2.
Do yours go on the cooker?
Yes, yeah.
Mine do it. Like ours is just one of those wipe down ones that so it's just glass basically.
Yeah.
So it's got no rings or anything, but they always sit on it, and it's like sometimes they lean on it and it's beeping, so it's trying to heat up.
Yeah.
Because their paws are on the beeping bit. But you need a certain type of metal for it to heat up, for it to conduct. So
it's an induction hob, is it? Is it
induction? Yeah, induction hob. Yeah.
They're meant to be safer.
They're meant to be safer.
Yeah, they're meant to be safer because if you can put your hand on an induction hob, even when it's on, it won't necessarily burn you. It might just be warm.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wouldn't recommend trying it if you've got an induction hob at home. Don't just fucking go take my word for it and stick your hand on a hob. But yeah, I remember learning.
Yeah, they are safer. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, mine's just a ceramic hob, so mine gets hot and it's fucking hot no matter what. So when we cook anything on the hob, we've always got to make sure that we place something over the top of the hob to stop the cats going onto the actual heated ring of the ceramic hob.
Yeah, why do they? Well, it's weird because it's not comfortable, is it? There's a lot more comfortable.
I don't know if they like some form of heat because our cats love to sit on the windowsill when the sun's absolutely beaming through the window.
Yeah.
But there's levels to this game, guys. I mean, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's happened a couple of times. My cat is almost entirely black. It's got like a white small tucks underneath the chin and a bit of white on their both back legs.
You almost want to let them just burn themselves, like so they don't do it again, like kids learn.
You'll remember this.
Yeah, you won't be doing that after you burn yourself on this.
But yes, that's just every time I have to double check. Like, where's the cat? It's not on the hob? Put something on the hob. This next one is, again, a tree falling down on a car, but it says less than an inch. And when I go through the photographs, you really will see it's less than an inch in it.
Oh, mate, that is funny.
Yeah.
That's mad.
That's crazy. It literally is less than an inch. To have you've got an expensive insurance claim coming up there if that even makes contact with your bonnet. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's so lucky.
Yeah.
Even because stuff falls and then it settles, so that the fact it hasn't even bounced or hit it at all, the fact it just settled there. Because usually stuff goes and like bounces back a bit, so that's interesting.
But it just takes one branch to give way, and then it's just that's it.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to be leaving. I mean, they're there taking pictures. You're like,
yeah. I mean, to be fair to them, I don't know if they could reverse. Yeah, they could reverse.
Yeah. Unless again, it's another Greg, and he's just drive up.
guys, look how close.
Just trying to get the pictures in.
I don't know why you think this is impressive, Greg. Like, it's literally a tree falling down. You just park your car underneath it.
You just parked underneath.
Yeah. Oh, this next one, I've seen this image before, but my God, just anyone who's worked with any power tools, just wear goggles, mate.
Oh my days.
That is I don't know if that's a part of a jigsaw disc. I don't know, but it is lodged into a pair of safety goggles, and the guy still got them on, so I imagine it would have happened whilst he was using it.
I mean, not even anywhere else. If it hits his face or anything, it's a bad day out, isn't it?
Oh, it's a terrible day out. That is, I mean, at the bare minimum, you're losing that eye.
Yeah,
completely gone. But at the worst, it probably could do some damage to maybe your brain.
Yeah, considering how far. Yeah, I mean, God, that is so lucky. I mean, it's gone through the glasses enough to.
Almost enough that you could probably touch it with your eyelashes when you close your eyes.
Yeah.
That amount is sticking out the other side.
It almost just doesn't look real.
No. And again, we could be dealing with a Greg here. He could have put the safety goggles in afterwards.
I don't know why we've called him a Greg, but you just went.
We'll just go with it. But yeah, that's. It makes you question. Should I be doing this anymore? Is this the warning?
That is weird.
Yeah. This one, fucking Jesus! It's a boulder that's obviously rolled down from the top of the hill, and it's missed most of the house. I think there is a bit like towards the top there that's obviously been clipped by it, but it looks like it's gone through the drive and down further down the.
I mean, it's made a right mess of the. It almost looks like a meteorite.
Yeah.
The way it's like just hit it's ripped up all the ground. You think it would roll over the ground, but that's gone through it.
Yeah. You can see like towards the end probably some rolls.
Yeah.
Some imprints of where it's been rotating, but yeah, that is for it to miss pretty much the entirety of your house and just go through your front garden is. I mean, that's beyond lucky. I mean, there's
a clip on it.
There's
like a live clip on Instagram where some guys, I don't know if they're like walking or mountain walking, and not as big as that, a rock comes down, as big as a human. So
okay,
it bounces. It's so quick, and it just this guy just kind of does this weird curve. But it just goes flying past him and just misses him by about a couple of inches, like similar to that, but not as big as that. That's as big as a house.
It literally is, yeah. It's literally I'd say easily a couple of cars worth of boulder.
Yeah,
has just literally decimated your garden. And your drive, potentially. There's a little bit of damage, like I said at the top. I don't know what part of the house that is, but you can see some damage there. It's actually brought the wall away from the
It
room.
looks like it's just taken a load of trees with it as well from the top. Just literally come through a forest and just gone, goodbye trees.
Oh, that is an expensive clear up though. This one, oh my god!
Oh,
mudslide, and there's a vehicle that's obviously propped up against the side of a railing. It's almost toppled I'm assuming it's like some sort of truck. It's almost toppled over the edge, and it's just like a sheer drop off the edge into the sea.
Off a cliff, into the sea. I mean, that is all kinds of lucky, isn't it?
Yeah. That must have been some massive mudslide. It's completely covered the road.
Yeah. I wonder if he was in it when it happened. That'd be fucking scary. Because you go over there, it's game over.
Yeah. Especially the weight of that truck. If that plummets into the ocean, if there's any like amount of water, like deepness to it, it's so hard to get out.
Yeah. Just all sorts of horribleness with that.
I think you're kind of not incentivized, but you're advised to wait if you can for the pressure to equalize before you try and open the door in a car if you're submerged.
Yeah. So they say because as soon as or like try and open a window or have something open so that the water can come in, because as soon as the water's not in, you can't open the door because of the pressure.
Yeah.
So they smash smash the window first things you can get out.
Oh, I can imagine the panic going through my mind if that ever happened to me. But I don't know if I'd have the patience to, if I had the windows rolled up, I don't know if I'd have the patience to just sit there going, right, well, we've got to wait until we're at the bottom and then we can open the door.
Yeah. Until the car's filled up with water. Have you seen that one where, I don't know where it is, if it's the UK, but it's a car and I think it's gone into the water somehow, but it's sinking and there's a woman in it and it's the whole thing's in, but the back window screen is still visible. And a guy, obviously knowing that thing, he runs over he's got a rock off the side.
Yeah.
And he runs over and it just before it goes under, he smashes the top.
Right.
Of that, so then that shatters, and then she can I think she gets out through that through the back and like drags her out. But once that had gone under, it'd been game over.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. What's this next one? Another workplace DIY kind of related one. So it's one who's he's working on basically some sort of saw, I'm guessing.
Okay.
And he's got like a tungsten ring on his finger, and the saw has hit the ring first without touching any of his fingers, and it's completely shattered in half the ring rather than chewing up his fingers.
That is very, very lucky.
Yeah. Because you don't really realise how vulnerable your extremities are, especially your fingers.
Yeah.
They just get chewed through.
Yeah.
By so much. This next one is not really life threatening, but that would be uncomfortable. You've got a pack here of nighttime sleep aid
what do
tablets
they do there?
made by the same company. They do a gentle laxative, but they are literally almost identical in colour, size, and details on the packet, apart from the name, obviously. They've used orange branding. So, that would be an uncomfortable night.
That is a close call, yeah.
But, Jesus Christ. Another one where someone's basically been saved by a phone, where a chainsaw has hit a phone, and that's done some damage to the phone, and that would chew through your leg like anything.
Yeah.
I think this next one is the last one. I don't actually fully understand how this has happened, but for the audio listeners, 2 nails have gone through this person's knee, but they've gone through in between the kneecap and where the femur, so your large top of your leg, where where your hamstring and your quadricep is,
Jesus.
where your thighs are, that large bone there's a gap in between where the bone ends and when the knee cap starts. And both of these nails have gone into the gap in between. And obviously, it's not as bad as having it go through bone.
Yeah.
So it's still massively painful, but yeah, that's saved a lot of time recuperating, a lot of potential trouble with your leg, because your femur's such an important bone, and if you break your femur, it can be deadly. I mean, probably not as deadly in this scenario because it's at the bottom of the femur, but people break their femur and die because it's basically snaps and then cuts through major vessels in your body.
Shit. Fucking hell. That's so bad.
Crazy.
See, your kneecap there, is it completely unattached to anything? Obviously, nerves. It's got nerves and stuff, but is it like free floating almost? Or?
You've got like ligaments that hold it in place, and obviously tendons that hold the muscle in place to the certain parts of the bone. But there is actually a gap between the two bits of bone, which is where those nails have gone, which is just the odds on that, again, having one go in that certain angle and direction, and then to have two do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, God knows what it's doing to have two nails shoot through that.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been like I don't know if he's been using like a nail gun or something.
Yeah, so I was thinking, some sort of nail gun.
Crazy. I mean, that you can literally see the one on the furthest left has, I think they described it as saying, removed a little bit of cartilage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it scraped some of the cartilage of the femur. Yeah, crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah, so
lucky.
Yeah, just think yourself lucky that you haven't had any of these scenarios happen to you, and I really hope none of them ever happen to anyone. But Jesus Christ, some of them, even if it was an inch difference, could have been horrific.
Yeah, it's so crazy. When you see stuff like that, you just like, there's so many of those things that happen to people that, you just like, is that luck, or I suppose the adverse happens as well, where people do, just go in and fuck stuff up. So
yeah, there's definitely probably an equal measure of people who are extremely unlucky.
With silly little things.
Yeah, but it's
I heard like back in the day, like this person fell off like a little wall, a tiny little wall that he'd walk on, like they fell off that and then did something and ended up dying, and it's like that's of all the things that you can do, like dying from that.
It is surprising how little damage or how little anything insignificant you look at can be potentially deadly.
Yeah. And then again, you get the flip side of it where stuff happens to people and you're like, how are they even on the earth?
Yeah, like two people are shooting each other and they happen to shoot each other exactly the same time and the bullets counteract each other.
Yeah, I mean, that's
just crazy. And then you got someone who's like in the kitchen and slips over and knocks their head onto like a table and that's it.
Yeah, it's just you think, when it's your time, like you can go through like loads of stuff and be so lucky, and then just something weird can just get you in the end.
Craziness. Right, what we'll do for the last 5-10 minutes, we'll have a few questions. If you've got your questions, get them in the live chat, and we'll answer them. But yeah, just think yourself lucky, everyone. Unless you have had something like this happen and you want to tell us what it was, obviously grateful you're still here, but Jesus Christ, that is...
I managed to break, let me see it, so there's a bone. There's a bone between that there and there. It's a tiny little bone. It's one of the smallest bones in your body, apart from some of your tongue that's smaller. But I shut that in a door and it broke it. And that was painful. But the doctor, I was only young when it happened, but when I went to the doctors, they were like, it's such a small bone to break. Because obviously the smaller the bone, the kind of harder it is to break.
Yeah.
And he was like, so I can't believe you managed to break that. a real difficult bone to break.
Mm.
But I had to have a hot needle go all the way through it to relieve all the pressure. But I got a lollipop, so
it's a price worth paying. It really is.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, and touch whatever bit of wood I can find, I haven't broken any bone in my body as far as I'm aware.
Oh, that's good.
What I will say is, though, my hands are completely fucked, and I'd be very surprised if I don't have some form of problem with my hands later on in life. I just want to show people how fucking crooked one of my fingers is, right? If we put it up here. Look at that.
Mate, that's broke.
Yeah.
For sure.
Maybe I've broken it then, but I've got...
that is definitely broke.
Look at that.
Oh, that's all kinds of wrong.
That's what it's meant to be like.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Yeah, that's broke.
Yeah, that's fucked. I believe that first happened when I was playing rugby. Someone stood on my hand. It didn't feel broken at the time, though. It hurt for like a few seconds, but then after a while it was all right.
Mate, when I was in the army, like my two best mates, and we played rugby every week. And one of my mates, he actually played rugby for the army, but he would break his fingers every other week. He'd always like strap them together, but he got so used to breaking them. I don't know how common that is in rugby, but my other mate didn't. But he would literally break his fingers all the time, and he'd just strap them back together.
Yeah.
But yeah, constantly just dealing with broken fingers.
I gotta be careful with my legs as well. My knees. I've had trouble with one of my knees earlier on in life. It's nowhere near as bad now, but it's locked a couple of times. My left knee is locked. Okay. But I've got hyperextension in my knees, which is where say this is like my knee joint. It should be like this, but when I straighten out my legs, it goes like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. My partner's got that on her arm, Rachel. It inverts.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to be, now I'm obviously going to the gym quite a lot. When I'm doing legs, I've got to be careful that I don't hyperextend my knee.
Yeah,
because especially if I'm on the 45-degree leg press, I'm literally in the air pushing up. And if my legs do this and buckle, my legs could literally go the other way and be on my shoulders. So yeah.
Have you seen that in there's a clip on Instagram of gym things, and that happens to a guy doing that exact same thing. Both his legs pop. He's got so much weight on there, it's stupid.
Yeah.
But there's this just like montage of people in the gyms, and it's all of it is just far too much weight.
It's ego lifting.
Yeah. There's a few guys who don't like pop their arms go, and then a few. One of them is both his chests fucking pops, which is weird.
Oh, is that the one where he's on a bench press and you can see like his muscle almost like
they're like rip and tear. Yeah. I mean it's going to take so long to fucking sort out as well.
And because it's such a well used muscle that almost everything you do in a day would just be completely changed.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I never understand why I don't know. All of those montages, maybe some of them are okay, but they just look like they've never lifted anything like that weight before in their life, and it's like, why would you go in on that weight?
I think sometimes if you go to the gym and you are someone who goes to the gym a lot and you've got massive, you're probably more likely to go to like a more meatheady gym, not to be harsh to people. But you go to a gym where people are there to get massive and they want to just continually gain more and more muscle.
Okay. So
and you get almost to the point where everyone's like egging each other on. Go on, do like 10 kilogram more. Go on. And you just overexert yourself. You just go far too over the edge. I'm so careful in the gym. I mean, I look like an absolute twat that I'm like adding like maybe like 1.5 kilograms every time just in case. I just don't want to overexert myself massively. But yeah, you do see it every now and again where someone's doing something and I'm like, I've only been there for like 2 months. I'm like going, oh my God, fucking hell, I really hope you don't fucking buckle your knees or your arms don't give way, because fuck that.
Yeah, long time recovering it.
Yeah. What's the input here? Let's have a look. Me and my mates were playing darts the other day and my mate needed double 12 to win and he missed through the dart. It hit the ceiling and came down and hit double 12. There you go.
That's mad.
That is. I don't even the physics on that. I don't even know how that would happen. But yeah, that is one for the ages. That.
Yeah, that's like a 1,000,000 to 1 shot in it. Like something you could never ever replicate.
Yeah, darts is another one where I'm like, oh my god, this can go horrifically wrong if you don't practice the actual. Not that I don't even know. I'm guessing it's in the rules, but you just got to have like a bit of courtesy about other people. If you start throwing whilst they're like moving away from the dartboard, just taking their darts away, you're just asking. And alcohol as well, big one.
Yeah, playing darts with my kids on holiday. It's like, you know, you're dodging bullets. They can just go anywhere. Like especially my little one. I remember when she just like she would throw them and then you wouldn't even be at the dartboard. It'd be like towards you. She'd just like wandering around. They're like, "Oh, this is cool." Just throw arrows at people. No, keep it at the dartboard.
Yeah, you always tell when you get into a pub where you've got quite a few regulars who perhaps aren't that great at darts when you see more holes around the board than you do actually on the board itself. Yeah.
Follow the holes.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look. What's this one? My dad was cutting something in the garden and ended up cutting right through his nail and hit the bone. I've seen someone do that. It's horrible. You can actually see the white of the bone sticking like clearly through the gap. Crazy, man. Disgusting. I've seen only 2 sites like that before, like actually in person, and both of them were rank.
Yeah, there's something not nice about seeing. I saw someone who was drunk, but I saw he got someone trod on his face.
Oh shit!
It was his nose is split from there to there, but you could see his bone, and but he didn't know, and he kept pushing it up. It was like he was pretty hammered.
Yeah.
And he was like putting it, and then it was all the blood's spurting out of there. We're trying to like calm him down, but yeah, that didn't look too great.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where I really did think like something really bad was going to happen to me. Another one, because of my crooked fucking finger, rugby. There was a play where I was in I can't remember if it was a scrum or a ruck, one of them. I was on the floor, and this guy's fucking boot came down on the side of my head, and I thought he's going to puncture my fucking head with this boot. Fortunately, he didn't put enough pressure on, so it actually went through. But I was like literally just going, my fucking head. Yeah, that was in a school game, I think, and funny enough against Jordan's school. So yeah, we go back that far. I mean, it wasn't Jordan. Yeah. It wasn't Jordan who was doing it, but yeah, it was someone at his school. But yeah,
mate, so many injuries in rugby, like again in the scrums and all that stuff. It's like broken fingers, broken noses.
Yeah,
like it is
rugby's probably the only sport you can tell they're a rugby player. Like if you see someone fit,
cauliflower ears.
Yeah, if you see someone who's like athletic, you know, obviously looking after themselves, you don't just immediately go footballer unless they're like well known, like Messi or something. You got to be able to pick out like a Division 2 player, be like, oh yeah, he plays football. But you could pick out a rugby player fucking easily. Crooked nose, fucking cauliflower ears. He's got like multiple like dents on his face. It's crazy.
Yeah, especially on the position you play. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play hooker, which is in the scrum. So that was not fun because there was a lot of let's just say unsportsmanlike things going on in the scrum. Bit of a uppercut to the nose, knees, and the fucking face. It was great. It was good fun.
We didn't have rugby at our school. It's I've played like a handful of times. But yeah, it'd been nice to have it at our school.
Yeah, it's definitely fun in certain positions, but other positions I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah,
like I don't understand why anyone likes this sport. If you're a forward and you're big like you like just fucking bashing the fuck out of people, it's probably brilliant for you. But if you're just like, well, I'd like to have the ball once every 5 minutes, maybe. And not spend half my time getting smacked in a scrum.
Yeah,
it's probably not for you. But yeah, it's definitely, it can be fun in certain positions. But yeah, it's not. Sometimes you get some people who are a bit overzealous in the rucks and the scrum. But yeah, is what it is. Well, I think we'll leave it there. This hour and 12 minutes is gone like so quick. I really don't feel like it's been that long.
Nah, it's gone very quick. Yeah, it's I like those. I'm cautious now going outside because I'm like
just looking over your
watching
shoulder
out for things flying about.
Oh dear. Right. Well, we'll be hopefully back up to the full trio next week, barring any mishaps and unforeseen events. But yeah, Jordan will be back. I'm sure he'll tell us all about his holiday. Like I said,
I'll have some stories. There's quite a few things going on over there, isn't there?
Yeah, it seems to be all coinciding with him going there. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone's after him or whatever, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's probably made enough content for there to be some people who are a bit edgy about him. But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure he'll tell us all about it, and we look forward to it. But for now, we'll see you in the next one. Up the APMA. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.